Welcome back to another episode on The Gold Room. Lucky enough to have Amanda from GotSafe Media in the studio with me today. Amanda, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you for having me, Josh.
Not a problem. Look, before we get into GotSafe Media, the feedback that we get is people are really enjoying listening to The Life and the Times. And what I tell people is this is your opportunity to do your digital handshake. And if we can help you and your business, that's what I'm rapt to be able to do. So let's get into The Life and the Times.
Okay, so I come from Brazil originally. I was born in Brasilia, and then we moved when I was 5 or 6 years old to a little town called Paracatu in Minas Gerais, which means mine. Yep. Minas is a very rich state.
Gold mine?
Mineral.
Gold mine, isn't
Gold mine, big open cut gold mine, sits right beside the town and drives the town infrastructure, wealth, everything. Yeah, the economy, drives the economy of the town. And for that reason, my dad was brought to Paracatu to help with healthcare and start a new hospital and support the community. So both my parents, my mum was a social worker, worked also for the community there, and my dad worked constantly and still does to this day. Yes.
Awesome. So your earliest memory?
My earliest memory was riding my bike or just climbing a tree, being really free. Yep. I grew up away. We didn't have the screens or, I had freedom. Both of my parents were constantly working. So I was after school in Brazil. School is in the morning. Only you finish school at 1 p.m. and after school do my homework, and then I just wanted to be out. And I was an outdoor person. Day one, would just go meet friends, meet the neighbours, go to the neighbour's house and have fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What about, so your early education?
Early education, high school. I completed, did it all back in Brazil.
And communications degree at university?
No, international relations.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
Yes.
Far out. That set you up.
I moved to Brasilia to do university. So in Paracatu, they now have universities. But back on my day, a few years ago, they didn't have university. So I moved to Brasilia to study international relations. I thought the world is my oyster.
Yep, and it's certainly something that you wanted to get out and explore.
That's right.
Awesome. So what led you to Perth?
So after university, I started working I did quite a lot of internships, apprenticeships, and I thought I was going to work for United Nations. I thought that was
the goal?
Yeah, that was the goal, to be a diplomat or work for United Nations. And I did a 1-year internship in the Ministry of International Relations in Brazil. And I saw that things take way longer to happen in politics. And that really wasn't for me. So I managed to graduate and get a job in a bank, ABN AMRO, and I was supporting, they needed someone that speak English. So I spent 6 months in Canada.
Wow, awesome.
During exchange student after I finished high school. And luckily for me, I had English and I got that job and worked in a bank. And I saw what really hard work is. Yep. That was very, very tough work because you have, they call it products. You have to sell those products and you have very clear KPI and you don't meet them, you're gone.
Really?
Yeah, so it was credit cards, investments, and being surrounded by people with wealth made me realize, wow,
I need to get there.
like, what am I doing? Working in this bank and actually making others rich or making others spend money that they don't need is not really what I want from my life.
They've done a royal commission in Australia over some of these bloody banking tactics.
I completely understand. The regulations are much better now, but back on when I was working, the fees and the amount of money that they make in the third world, it's beyond.
They're making a hell of a lot of money here too.
Yeah.
Aren't they?
Yeah, they do.
So how did you get to Perth?
From there, I started planning my trip. I started dreaming. I started every day I would go to the bank. I would crank up Breakaway from Kelly Clarkson and I would imagine a different life. And I knew I needed to step out.
Yep.
And from there, I just told my parents, I told my mom, I'm going to save all the money I have. I'm going to buy a ticket to Australia, but I need your help. You know, I have to study there because it was the only place. I went on an agency and I said, I don't want to go to the US. It's just, you know, overstimulated. Like it's a big thing in Brazil. I want to go somewhere where I can work and study at the same time, do a postgrad. I always thought that maybe I'll venture myself. I was seeing what was happening with the environmental and sustainability. I thought I'm gonna join international relations with environmental science management. And I told my parents, pitched the idea, and they said, okay, we will help you get there, but you have to buy your own ticket. And from one year on, I planned my whole trip and my move.
Wow.
Yeah, I arrived here in 2008, 29th of February, a leap year.
Wow.
Yeah, meant to be on that day,
Wow.
29th of February.
Amazing.
No joke. 23 years old.
Arrived just by yourself?
By myself.
Amazing.
Alone. And the moment that I land, in that week, I thought, I'm never going to leave this place.
And did you land in Perth?
In Perth. Most beautiful place. It was just so, I was so free. Growing up and, you know, I was free. And then when I did university, security was a big problem. Security is still a big problem in Brazil. And I felt unsafe constantly when I was arriving home at night after working or after uni. I would hear cases of around my neighborhood, people, you know, women just walking around being kidnapped. And I thought, I want to be in a place where I feel safe and I can build the life that I want. And Perth is, yeah.
Have you ever felt unsafe in Perth?
Never. Never. People tell me, like, you can walk at midnight. I'm sure there are, yeah, it's much worse now, but I never felt unsafe.
No.
Yeah.
Perth is my all-time favourite city in Australia.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's amazing.
Western Australia.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
So you have had, since being in Australia, you have worked across logistics. You've worked in oil and gas. You've worked in maritime. You worked in mining.
Yeah.
Go into a little bit of that.
Yeah, so I started after a few years of studying environmental science management. I saw that it lacked a little bit of a zing for me. You know, I think it just lacked people. Someone told me I was working on a vessel, managed to get a job as a environmental person responsible for the environmental plan on a seismic vessel. So seismic does oil exploration offshore. And I was like, oh, wow, okay. I spent 6 weeks there doing the environmental plan, and I thought, God, this is just, you know, waste management. It just lacks something for me. And I spoke with one of the officers on the bridge, and they said, you're really good with people. You know, you actually listen to them. You should look into health and safety if you not going to progress in environmental. And I thought, you know what? I think you're right. I'm going to look into health and safety. And when I went back, I signed myself up to Certificate 4 in health and safety. And from there, I went. I applied for a job back with Fugro and started working in health and safety.
Is that what inspired you to create GotSafe Media?
A little bit, yes. So, many years of experience speaking with people, handling the MUA, you know, handling Maritime Union, and being a woman and being Brazilian and being friendly doesn't mean that I can't handle that. I'm not strict or I'm not capable, of doing or communicating things. So I had to prove myself many, many times. And I did. You know, I got opportunities. I got to work for projects as Statoil back in Paris, in Paris for CGG. So Fugro was bought out by a French company, and they had so many projects happening. and got to go back to Rio as well and live in Brazil,
Wow.
continue working for Statoil and managing subcontractors there. So a lot of subcontractors, they needed someone with Portuguese. I was the person. I said, I'm going. You guys are putting me on this project. I'm going to go.
That's amazing.
And I did spend a year there in my own country, manage subcontractors, living like an expat.
Really?
Yeah.
You enjoyed that?
Yeah.
Go back and see mum and dad?
Yes, absolutely,
Awesome.
absolutely. It was one of the best those pivotal moments where when you have opportunities, you have to grab them. You have to go for them.
You do.
Yes.
We say this so many times in here. One foot in front of another. If the door opens, go through it.
Absolutely. And if it
say
doesn't
yes.
open, you
say yes.
break the window.
You can kick it down.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
That's right.
Your tagline is meaningful safety communications.
Yes.
Let's go into that. What does it mean? What does
So-
that mean to you?
What it means to me is actually understanding the other person, understanding the front line and what it means to them, health and safety. So in those years in my career, health and safety has always been seen as boring. I don't want to deal with it. This is just a tick of the box. Can you just go and present, go offshore and present this? And one day, one presentation, when I arrived on board, I was always the only woman as well. But I had never had any problem with it. I arrived and the captain's there. Okay, what do you need to present, Amanda? Just get it done. Just get it done so we can move on.
Slideshow after slideshow.
And we got the presentation from the headquarters, and it was ready. I updated with some of my own input, but that really marked me because as I started presenting, they were like, "Oh, it doesn't make sense in this vessel. This is we don't understand. What are you guys are doing in health and safety?" So there has been a lot of this disconnection. I think we have come a long way as health and safety people to actually listen and bring what matters to that specific site, not only across the board.
Yep.
Yeah, we're talking about 25 different vessels. Of course, you need to have one unified message, consistent, but you always need to make sure that you're bringing meaningful communications to that specific site and what it means to them. So instead of just sitting there and presenting over and over for, 1 hour and ticking the box, I said, guys, let's go around the table. Tell me, what it actually means, what this means to you in here. How would we, safety 2.0, that's what I was presenting. What does safety as a new way of safety means to you in terms of risk management, doing your risk assessments, incident response and incident investigation? How do we stop the blame culture and start actually
Taking ownership.
Yes, taking ownership, accountability, and listening to them, to what's important for them.
And so you found a fantastic reception doing it that way?
Very, very good reception.
Changed the way you did things moving forward?
Absolutely.
Took that back to the company and said, we're not doing it like this anymore. We're doing it my way?
Yeah, no, I did. I
can only imagine.
But they're just, companies are not really always open to being, to change.
Absolutely
to change, not. Especially in health and safety. It's a very legal requirement.
Yep.
And it's people's lives.
For sure.
And why we're not making it more fun or making it more interesting, engaging. So the new generation, to me, I believe that there is a better way to engage with them. And I think it's time that we start talking about what actually matters to people as well and start telling the truth. How do we manage subcontractors? We got employees and we got subcontractors. How are we bringing them as a team and managing them together? How are we communicating with them bringing that message?
I see a lot of division when I've been away working between the mining company and the subcontractors. They do their own thing, which makes it difficult for the health and safety team when they're trying to, do an investigation. Do they look after it themselves, or, do does the subcontractor look after it, and then the mining company just look over their documentation at the end?
Yes, absolutely. So there are plans, and this is part of the tendering process as well. And you have to put bridging documents. I used to do that all the time. You bridge the two management systems, and this is what's in each one of them. And you go, which one is actually going to be working on the ground. And usually it's the subcontractors, especially on the vessels. Depends who the maritime people were. So most of the time, that was how we did it. But yeah, when it comes to communications, I always felt that was my strength. And I always came from a place of curiosity, coming from what is important to you, and actually asking the question.
Yeah, it's very important.
Every time that I came in and working on a very male-dominated industries, that I came in and I wanted to push through past, this is what we need to get it done, to get the job done first, I wasn't successful.
So what did you do to become successful?
I had to really stop, think, ask questions, and to be honest, be there working with them. Spend time offshore. I spent a lot of time, 2 weeks. I said, guys, show me how you do your job. I want to be there. I'm not here to tell you off. Like we done the toolbox, we done the risk assessments, we done the take 5. Show me how you do it. And being there and having that human approach really changed my life, really, really made me a much better professional.
What are the common mistakes that you see companies making?
In safety.
In safety, yeah.
I think it's putting safety as a standalone box, putting safety on the side.
Yeah, a lot of companies, or over the years I've heard, it's safety over production until there's no production, and then it's production over safety.
Absolutely.
You've heard that or seen that?
Yes, of course. Especially when there is a deadline or there is a project that you need to finish and it is costing clients millions of dollars of mobilization, and you have to demobilize and you have to get out there and you have to do everything according to the environmental plan. But safety and operations, they are the same. They are just joint. And that's how I always saw that you can't have a successful operations without having that safety component. And I've seen the best leaders do that really well when they understand that and they just bridge it. They just bring it. It's not just part of one slide, but it's part of the whole conversation. It's a constant conversation by putting that throughout their message. And that's what I mean as well by meaningful conversations and meaningful safety communications. Bringing the leaders, it's also a key component. It's very, very important that they understand whatever they're saying, how they're leading, it's crucial for people's morale, for bringing the business. And now being a business owner, I understand what's on the line.
Yep.
I know that we are all there to make it happen, to make money. That's in the end. But why can't we do it better? Why can't we communicate better? Why can't we make it more engaging for people, make them interested?
Yep.
And there is a new generation coming up. They are not interested in sitting around and reading constant procedures that are so long. They want to see,
streamline it.
yeah, they want to see
get better at storytelling.
videos. Yes, they want to see more visual things and understand. And I know that they're also very safety conscious. I think there is a new wave of people coming into the marketplace that are way more, they care about their safety. At least that's what I've heard from a lot of my previous colleagues out there in doing renewables now.
You've worked in so many different sectors. Is there a particular sector that you think is leading the charge in change of safety, documentation and management?
Honestly, the big guys, the big companies are always leading.
Yep.
They have the resources.
That's exactly right.
They have the resources, and they are putting it to work. I've seen a lot of being done by Chevron. I've seen a lot being done by BHP, Rio Tinto. You know, the new trends with psychosocial hazards, how you manage mental health, that has been really key. And those that are using, new ways, engaging with their people are really going.
The Mars program.
Yeah, the Mars program, going really ahead on that. And the government is really pushing for that.
Yep.
But I think it's not only pushing, you have to work together. Because in the end, we all want to achieve the same goal. It's having that unified goal. So I've seen that they small guys, the service providers, and it's the ones that I really, really want to help, because I think they can come from a lower level of safety to a higher level through communication.
Would you say that you're targeting like contractors,
Contractors, service providers.
Mid-tier mining?
Mid-tier mining, for sure.
Yeah, mid-tier mining and below. I'm quite passionate about that area as well, because, the big boys, they've got it sorted. The big boys and girls, the big companies, they've got it sorted. They've got, as you say, they've got the money, they've got resources. Exactly.
Yes.
So, but some of the smaller companies that are really striving to do the right thing, they don't have those resources. They don't have those massive teams, and they don't have the money to be able to put into it. But they certainly they need the support.
Absolutely. They need the communication. They need to get it right, to get their team and their people out there working. And that's the ones. I know that technology is advancing, and there is so much. Nowadays you're able to, the Australian Institute of Health and Safety, they have a AI tool that you're able to just ask a question, and then you bring it up, all the legislation.
Wow.
What is the legislation for you that it's actually that will be pertinent to that project or to that contract? So those things are being addressed, but how we communicate as humans, it's just becoming even more important.
Yeah, definitely. What would you say to a mining supervisor or superintendent that thinks posters are up on the wall about safety in the workplace? What would you say? Is that the future, or could we be doing things differently?
We could be doing things differently. It's not only about the posters. The toolbox talks and that teamwork, that communication is still very important. I'm all up for that. But I think we do need to think beyond those posters.
And what are we doing?
Because it doesn't have one posters. It's have like 1 million posters, and everyone is overwhelmed with the amount of information. Is making it, targeting one subject at a time for a few months.
The safety notice boards that I've seen over the years, they, with the little clipboard up there, and you can take one off, or it's just one after another. And all the time I've spent in a crib room over the years, I've never really looked at, you might glance at one when you're walking past, but no one's really going up and taking some documentation and sitting down and reading it over smokers. Certainly not now with phones and technology.
Absolutely.
So you need to be able to engage with these, just like the old blokes and ladies, you need to be able to engage with the young people coming into mining.
Absolutely.
So I think that's exactly what you're doing. Fantastic.
Definitely.
So let's go into exactly what your business is about.
So GotSafe Media is a startup. I started thinking about, I joined my after working for 2 years and having my second child. I have 2 boys. One is 2, one is 7. I decided to leave that full-time work and join my life and business partner in branding and marketing. And after 6 months, I felt uninspired. I just have this calling inside of me, and some people have it. Other people just do it for the sake of it. But I have a calling, and health and safety has been always there. And I thought, I need to bring something. I need to continue working in health and safety because I know that's what I love. and talking to other people and talking to them about their work, their life, how they are contributing to the world that's my goal.
What are you doing differently? What are you doing differently to others out there on the market?
What I'm doing differently, I'm creating amazing 2D, 3D videos and targeting safety packs that are one subject at a time, that are subject and important to that specific site. What I'm trying to do is also survey your workforce and also work with the HSR, the health and safety reps. They have a wealth of knowledge on your site. Working with the safety representative, safety manager, safety rep, safety advisor, because they know a lot and it's so important. But going a little bit beyond and working with that health and safety rep on the ground, that is operations, that it's, getting his hand dirty, but he knows what safety matter, what's the pain of their team, and how to get them going, how to get them paying attention to that message.
Well, I think they're in bloody good hands with you, that's for sure. How do you see the future of safety and ESG in the next 5 years? Look, with technology and certainly the work that you're doing, the media, the 2D, the 3D videos, technology is going at a great rate of knots.
Yes.
So it's all going to eventually go from, the old tick and flick to,
I think
media that they're watching on screens or whatever.
Absolutely. I think we're going to see that evolving. Companies that are doing really well in the environmental, social, and governance space, bringing that technology and being able to showcase exactly their achievements, how they are doing, how they are, fighting for climate, how they are socially protecting their people, because that's key. Showcasing that to the world and being that example and giving others ideas of how they can do is a way that I see this going. Getting that out of your site or your report. I don't know if you have ever seen an ESG report. It's 10, 15 pages, amazing data, a lot of information there. But how are we bringing that to the world and actually showcasing that in a way that it means something, that people understand?
How many people on site do you think would have read that document in its entirety? Front to back, every word, not skipped a beat. I don't
think that many. No, I don't.
I can't imagine.
I can't imagine. They're busy doing their jobs,
Yep.
which is good. They should be doing their jobs, but they should also know what they're contributing to the planet, to the community, the services.
Definitely, and I think what you're doing is making it easier to digest.
Absolutely, and also making it easier for the leaders to explain, to come in to site and have no agenda, but know exactly what's on that report. Have no agenda, just come in and ask questions and talk to your people. It's another thing. So another service that we provide that I haven't seen out there is sitting down with leaders and ghostwriting a health and safety newsletter. We can turn that into a video, or you can issue as a monthly health and safety newsletter.
Wow.
Where we get to the point. We're not talking about what you project to the world, but it also what actually means to you as a leader.
And to your individual sites.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
to your
amazing.
individual sites. What are you doing? How do you lead, and how do you make it meaningful for them and they understand what you're saying beyond the business P&L?
Yeah, wow. Look, the P&L is important.
Very important.
Because they're not running a business without it.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely. And everyone
you need to
should
watch
know
that bottom line for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. So cost-wise, what's it like? What are we looking at to make a video? A 2D, if I need a 2D video, 3D video
I'll give you a very, very good discount promoting my business.
We actually need one for the pallet wrapping machine out the back of.
Do you?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And having the staff trained adequately on the forklift.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, forklift in warehousing. Yes, that's one of my backgrounds for sure.
Beautiful.
So I worked. I make sure that I'll give you
Yeah,
my
awesome.
starter
You look
rate.
after me, and then I'll tell, and then I'll go out there and tell a few more people than just this.
You know, what's the cost for your business?
It would be
in
the hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
So you can't put a price on safety, even though you're looking at that P&L sheet. You've got to be mindful. You've got to look, and at the end of the day, you've got to look after your staff.
What about showcasing what you do and putting out there to the?
I like to showcase what everyone else is doing.
That's right.
I have one last question for you.
Okay.
What is the best advice you've ever heard or given?
That I ever heard or given.
I reckon your dad would have given you some bloody good advice when you were a young
Absolutely.
lady.
Yes, he did. One, my dad was always studying. He was always reading. So I always, he wouldn't come and just, ask me questions, but he would lead by example. So I would find him on the couch there, and he had piles of books. He was always studying. And one day he told me, Amanda, life is a journey. You're constantly, sorry,
You're right, you're right.
my thing is falling. You're constantly learning. We never stop learning. You should.
True.
And I thought, God, you're already a doctor. I was thinking, what else do you want to learn? But he was probably in his third post-grad degree, and that stuck with me. Life is a learning journey, and this is a new chapter for me, where I wanna bring, instead of just going and working for one company, I wanna help a lot of different businesses by bringing a different message about safety. Let's stop thinking that safety is boring. Let's stop thinking that safety is just something that you do to tick a box and move beyond.
Well,
it's part of
I know for a fact, Amanda, that you will succeed. I know that you'll do very well. You'll get the support that, hopefully we can help you with this. You'll garner the support of small, medium and large companies.
Thank you. Thank you, Josh.
Amazing person. So thank you very much for taking the time to come on the show with us.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been great.
Not a problem. Thank you very much for tuning into another episode on The Gold Room. Hope you enjoyed this one. Make sure you leave some comments and tell all your bloody mates to subscribe. Thank you.